Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers today. When I look at all the grossly untalented and unqualified people working in the comic book industry these days, I have to wonder how they got their jobs. Because a long time ago, in a ghetto far, far away, I wanted to be a comic book writer. And over the last 25 years, I have made every effort to try to make a break into the comic book industry, yet I keep running into brick walls. Now, I believe I have a background that would make me a tremendous asset to any comic book publisher out there. I have over 30 years of writing experience. I have an extensive background of understanding how to write fantasy and science fiction. I have read books like Stan Lee's Origins of Marvel Comics, Son of Origins of Marvel Comics, Superhero Women, Bring On the Bad Guys, and in addition, I have read technical books that have honed my craft as a screenwriter, like Sid Field's screenplay and Robert McKee's story, and I have learned how to write tight, compact stories that are compelling to the reader. And in addition to my extensive education and writing background regarding science fiction and fantasy, I also have years of publishing experience being the publisher of the SJS Direct imprint since 2009. And over that 9 years, I have published over 50 different types of books, many of which are science fiction and fantasy, in addition to publishing fiction and nonfiction as well. In addition to my publishing experience, my writing experience, and my editing experience, I have also run the Shawn James Black Freelance Writer blog, and on that blog, I have built up a readership that has gotten over 2 million hits since about 2007 or 2008. So I have done an extensively solid job of building an audience, establishing an audience, and right now on YouTube, I have built up an audience that is getting close to 5,000 subscribers. So I believe, again, I could be a tremendous asset to any comic book publisher based on my background as a writer and a publisher and an editor. And I've made efforts to try to contact companies, but I got no response. Now, about 2 years ago, I submitted towards DC's campaign when they were looking for new writers, and I submitted material to them when they were looking for new writers, yet I got no response. And I also sent a query letter to Dynamite Comics in the hopes of securing some sort of job with them. Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything. And again, I believe I could be a tremendous asset to any comic publisher because I believe I have the background and the skills to work in comics. I mean, again, I've been a comic fan for many years. I have an extensive understanding of science fiction and storytelling. I understand how to build character transformation arcs in characters. I understand how story arcs work in comics with the three story arcs, which are the overreaching arc, the story arc, and the single issue arc. And I also understand how to develop characters that are compelling and create compelling stories that are tight and compact. Moreover, I also understand how to market publications because that's what I've also been doing as part of the SJS Direct imprint. And I know how to reach new audiences and new readers because that's what I did with the Spinsterella trilogy. I was trying to reach African Americans and people in the goth subculture, and I also tried to reach African American fantasy and science fiction readers with books like the Isis series, the Esteem series, and the Temptation of John Haynes. Moreover, I also know how to reach casual readers with publications, and I know what type of content would reach casual readers. Again, all of these things I believe would be an asset to a comic book publisher, and I would Tumblr or a blogger because I've been on Blogger for over a decade and I've built up an audience that led to me getting over 2 million hits on my Shawn James Black Freelance Writer blog. Moreover, that blog has led to me getting opportunities to write for OnyxLink.com, and it also led to me getting the opportunity to write for a national best-selling author's website and for the negromanosphere.com. So my blogging experience has allowed me to expand and reach new audiences all over the world, and it's also allowed me to build up an international reading base that has bought my books not only in the United States but in the UK and countries abroad. So I believe, again, I would be a tremendous asset to Marvel Comics or DC Comics, because what I'm doing right now is what I would do for them in trying to increase their readership. And the comic book industry, as I see it right now, desperately needs someone there who is passionate about not only the characters, but about creating a bridge between these characters and the next generation of readers. My goal, if I were to work for a Marvel or a DC or a Dynamite or anybody, would be trying to find a way to reach new readers with these characters, create compelling stories with these characters that allow the next generation of readers to become actively involved with the stories, and a way to reach new audiences of casual readers. My goal as a writer is to create the kind of stories that allow readers to come in and get to know these characters, form relationships with these characters. Moreover, my goal as a writer is also to market these characters on places like social media and try to sell the brand and the characters to the next generation of readers through numerous promotional techniques I have learned selling my own paperbacks and ebooks on places like Facebook, Tumblr, Blogger, and YouTube, because the marketing techniques I have used, I believe, have had a tremendous impact in helping me expand the SJS Direct imprint. And I'd like to use some of those techniques to help the comic book industry, because as I see it, the comic book industry has been in a slump for the last 20 years, and one of the reasons why it's been in a slump is because they have the wrong people working there, people with no passion, no heart, and no love for comics. And because they have no love, no passion, and no heart for comics, they don't really care about the comics that they produce. And when the people who create comics don't care, the reader doesn't care about the product, and it doesn't give them that incentive to buy it. So I believe that if I came into comics, I would be a tremendous asset to the comic book industry. Only problem is I have had a hard time finding the door to get into the comic book industry for the last 25 years. And I believe if one company took a chance on me and gave me an opportunity to work for them, I believe I could help them increase their readership, expand their readership with casual readers, and expand their audience to reach new customers. But all I need is one opportunity to do that. And I believe if a company took that chance on me, they would be able to help themselves move towards the next level. Now, if you want to help me move the SJS Direct imprint towards the next level, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com to pick up an ISIS series book, an East-Team series book, Temptation of John Haynes, or the Spinsterella trilogy. And if you want to help me pay for the SJS Direct 2018 catalog, you may do so by clicking the link to donate $1 or more to the Patreon in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Allow me to help sell more titles for a comic book publisher, because this is what I'm doing right now for the SJS Direct Publishing imprint that I created. And I believe I could find ways to increase things for the comic book industry as well, because the comic book industry was the place, again, where I learned how to read, and it's been a part of my life for many years, and I wanted to be able to contribute to it. But when I look at many of the grossly unqualified and untalented people working at places like Marvel, DC, and Image, it just makes me shake my head about how they got these jobs. But these people, again, clearly, one, don't care about the characters at these companies. Two, they don't care about the products they produce at these companies. And three, they really aren't concerned about trying to increase readerships at these publishing houses. Me, I truly am concerned about those characters. They mean a lot to me, and it also means a lot to me to not further hone my craft by trying to build up a larger audience of readers, reach new readers, and create publications that allow the publisher to reach new audiences and new demographics of readers. So when I look at the comic book industry, I wonder what they want, because they say that they go out here and they recruit writers from